just a word of warning though in the tail end of the YouTube section is just be careful of building your business on someone else's third party. And I talked about this earlier. You don't want to build a business that's reliant on someone else. So you don't build a business that's all on YouTube. You don't build a business that's all based around AdSense. Anything where someone else really holds the cards and they can pull the rug out from underneath you. So we'd spent a long time uploading over 500 videos, optimizing them, having the call to actions, lower third. You can imagine how much work that was. And this was probably a few weeks, a month or so ago now, our YouTube account, for no reason, I would just wake up one morning and it wasn't there. And the way I found it was someone posted on my blog saying, I was just watching one of your YouTube videos, it was really good, but then I went to click the next video and it said, this account has been suspended. And I remember at the time, like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. And because we didn't get any notification from YouTube, they hadn't sent us any emails, just like I was saying for Google Places and just Google in general. You can't pick up the phone and call them and go, what's going on? Like, I mean, our videos, we use high value content taken from workshops that we sell for like a couple of grand, and I just put the content on YouTube. And so the account got banned, and I was quite lucky at the time. Someone else, one of Australia's top bloggers, Darren Rouse, had his account banned as well on the same weekend. So what had happened is they went through and apparently they started banning a whole bunch of accounts, anything where there was the term make money online in one of the descriptions, plus a few other things. Like, I mean, it's still speculation. No one really knows why they banned the accounts because Google didn't come out and say. And he got his account reinstated because, I mean, one of Australia's top bloggers, a reporter picked it up and passed it on to the media person at YouTube, and then they just reactivated the account. That was like within 24 hours. We weren't so lucky for a little while there, so we wrote an open letter to YouTube, posted it on the blog. You can still see it on davidjenyns.com, talked through the story, exactly what happened. We had it was pretty touching. We had like over 100 people come over the space of sort of 24 hours and just post, amazing things going, I hope YouTube's watching this, we love your content, you do amazing stuff, you're helping lots of people, we really hope you get it back. Still didn't hear anything, and then I ended up doing a press release, and I found my angle, and I'll talk about using press release to get the attention and stuff like that, but I found my angle. I went, YouTube bans Australia's top blogger, so that's why I was fortunate that it happened to Darren Rouse as well. And I wrote this press release around this idea that he got banned, and then also other top bloggers as well, and that's where I inserted myself and said, he was lucky to get his account back, but only time will see whether or not YouTube is really listening, because YouTube had come out and made a quote saying sometimes we get it wrong. And fortunately though, the account ended up coming back online, and I think the few lessons that we learnt there were, one, again, we started to look at backup strategies. Like, we still want to use web video, so we started, how can we use Amazon S3 and some of the other services like Vimeo and Vidler out there as alternative strategies for streaming video that aren't necessarily reliant on YouTube. YouTube is the 100-pound gorilla, and if you can use YouTube, it's definitely the way to go. And I think for a lot of smaller businesses where I don't think you're probably going to upload 500 videos, but I mean, you can still use it.
What did they accuse you of?
The question was, what did they accuse me of? So I got an email from them saying, what did they say? They said, it was a really short email saying one of your videos has been found to be violating the terms and service of YouTube, and for that reason we're closing it down. And they didn't say why, and then I went through the appeals process and emailed them and said, well, can you tell me how I'm violating the user guidelines? And they said, no, it was an automated response. No, we can't tell you, just read the user guidelines over here. But I couldn't actually see anything that I was doing. Not only that, you're supposed to get 3 strikes and then you're out. So if your account gets 3 strikes over a 6-month period, then they have the rights to terminate your account according to their own guidelines. And also, if those strikes disappear after 6 months as well. So if 6 months passes, then you get that point back. So I think I was on one strike, and then they gave me the second strike and they closed it. So I never really knew, and I haven't heard anything from YouTube. I just woke up the morning after. It was on the long weekend. It was pretty crazy. My girlfriend was expecting to have a nice relaxing weekend, and I spent the entire weekend answering, making posts and doing press releases and seeing what I could to get it back. And then she woke up on one of the mornings and they reactivated at 6 in the morning, which seems to be the same time that they reactivate Darren Rouse's account. So I think it must have been YouTube, someone, probably YouTube America. I don't imagine that someone YouTube Australia was getting up at 6 in the morning and then reactivated it. So long story short, no idea.